Hey, everybody. This is Sam Bauer with the Wherever You Go podcast. I am the moderator and host of this podcast. And through this podcast, my prayer is that God uses my words to encourage you to lean into the dreams that He's put in your heart and become the person that He's created you to be. And I think part of what I want to talk about today is that you are the person that God created you to be. We want to continue to seek growth and to get closer to Christ and to become better people and to continue to learn, refine our craft or our skills, become better people. But I think it's also important that we remember that God created us uniquely for the plan that He has for our lives. And we are exactly who He created us to be right now. Right now. You're sitting there listening to this podcast, and right now you are exactly who God created you to be in this moment for this time. And He's going to use you in a way that He's already ordained. And I think as entrepreneurs or salespeople or, whatever your profession is, or whatever you're doing, if you are a full-time parent or you are a, corporate employee or you own your own business, whatever it is that you're doing, I think we constantly are seeking to become better. At least we should be, right? Like that's what we do. We try to grow and learn and continue to build on who we are so that we can better serve our families and our communities and our God. And I think sometimes we get so caught up in seeking what's next. What's that next opportunity? Or what is that next thing that God is going to put in front of me so that I can serve Him in a way that makes Him happy. And it's easy to lose sight of where we are and what we can do where we are. And recently this happened to me. And I just wanted to share a little bit about what happened and how I realized I was pursuing something that didn't need to be pursued. And not that we should stop, looking for opportunities and trying to grow, because we shouldn't. We should always be doing that. But we also need to be looking around right where we are with the knowledge that we are exactly where God wants us to be and looking for opportunities to serve Him there, whether it's, a big giant opportunity or a little itty bitty teeny tiny opportunity. We can serve God exactly where we are. And nothing is coincidence. Nothing is accidental. He has you where you are in this moment for a reason. You are sitting there listening to this podcast right now for a reason. And, after you're done listening to it and you go about your day or you go about whatever you're doing, there's a reason, there's a plan. Whoever you encounter today, God put them in your life. He put them in your path. Whatever work that He puts your hands on, He put there for you to do. And so I just kind of wanted to share this story as an inspiration for those of you out there who are potentially trying to do the same thing as me and trying to seek God's will. And I think as entrepreneurs, as high achievers, as people who want to continue to grow, we're constantly seeking, God, what can I do for you? How, I'm sitting here, I'm saying yes. You show me what to do and I will do it. Show me the next step, open the next door. I am ready to do that big giant thing that you've called me to do, but I don't know what it is. So if you could tell me, that would be awesome. Show me, give me a hint, which He does and He will in His time, because His timing is perfect. But so I was getting really caught up in this all right, God, show me what to do next. Show me the next step. Show me what you're calling me to do, and I will go do it. I'm sitting here with my hands raised up, take control of my life It's yours. My family is yours. My marriage is yours. My career is yours. My business is yours, Lord. Just show me what you want me to do with it, and that's what I'll do. And I wasn't hearing anything. Like, it was crickets. And this has been months. I've been meditating and praying and really diving into my Bible and really asking for clarity and discretion, and just that I can see, what is it, God, that you want me to do? Because I will go do it. Never did it dawn on me during this, this time that maybe I'm already doing it. And so I want to share with you all that encouragement that maybe you're already doing it. We don't have to constantly be, seeking and being frustrated that we feel like God's not hearing us, because we don't have to seek out God. God never leaves us. God has sought you out. He sought me out, and he is already working in our life, and he is already in our hearts, and he has already built us to be the person that he needs us to be in order to do what he wants us to do. But it's not necessarily a future thing. It's not necessarily when I get that promotion, I'm going to be able to serve God better. Or when I get the bigger house, I'm going to be able to serve God better. Or when I make more money, I'm going to be able to tithe more. Or when, God, you put me in front of a bigger audience, I'm going to be able to reach more people. That's not always the way God works. He's going to meet you right where you are, and he is going to use you right where you are, because he already knows what his plan is, and he's already executing it, and he's already working on you. And I think when we get so caught up in what's that next big thing, what's that next step, what's the next thing that I need to do in order to make you happy, God, and in order to serve you well, I think we get lost in the moment, and we forget to look around ourselves and realize that if that's how we truly feel, if we truly feel that we're saying yes to God, and we're leaning in to the dream that he's put in our heart, and we're working hard toward a goal, then guess what, you guys? We're already doing it. So we don't have to necessarily be on this mission for this next huge thing, because that again is the world getting in the way of God's divine plan for your life. And so for me, I'd been praying and God, I feel like you're pressing on me, and I know you want me to do something, but I don't know what it is. And I was starting to get frustrated because I was not hearing a thing, guys, like crickets. Like, I'd pray, and then I'd sit in silence and just ask God to pour over me what he wanted to do. And it's happened in the past. In the past, I've prayed for that, and I get this epiphany of oh my gosh, this is what you want me to do. But recently, it's been very quiet. And so, I've been in prayer about it. I've been journaling and talking to some friends and close loved ones. And, I recently went to Texas for this big banquet or big meetings that my company, the franchise that I own, they do these amazing meetings, and all the agents, the franchise owners from all over the country come out there, and we get together and talk about best practices, and we learn from each other, and it's just a super cool thing. And while I was there, I thought, well, when I'm here, I'm going to do a lot of prayer, and I'm going to do a lot of journaling, and I'm really going to figure out, what it is that God wants me to do next, because I'm ready to do whatever. And I don't know what I was thinking it was, but here I am in the middle of this huge organization that I own a franchise in, with the best people in the company, talking about best practices, learning how to grow my business, learning how to serve my clients better, how to scale my business so that I can serve not only more clients, but how I can serve more employees, so that I can potentially serve my community better, so that I can tithe more, because with growth comes, financial growth, and being excited about that, but still trying to figure out right, God, tell me what you want me to do, and I'll do it. And then, so this is all going on. And then I come back and I'm kind of still feeling like, man, I still haven't heard or seen or had like this great, my eyes opened to the next step that God wants to use me for. And yesterday, and this is how fresh this is, and this is why I wanted to talk about it this week. A client of mine called me and said, "Hey, Sam, can I stop by the office?" And I'm like, "Yeah, of course you can." Didn't tell me what he was stopping by for. And honestly, like, I didn't work with him to set up the policies. I worked with his wife, and I've known this family for a very long time. I've known them since I was a child, but I wouldn't say we were like super close growing up. I mean, his daughter was a dear friend of mine through elementary school and high school, but we weren't like go over to each other's house every weekend friends. We were like every once in a while, we would do things together, and we did a lot of things together throughout, extracurricular activities together. And she's just this beautiful person, and I love her so much. But we weren't like besties. But so again, there's like a lot of, this person doesn't know me that well. But anyway, he called me, wanted to stop in. So I said, yeah, of course, thinking that maybe they bought a new car or they needed to make a policy change, something like that. He comes in and sits down at my desk and said, "I just think this is probably going to sound strange, but I feel like God told me to come in here today and pray for you." And I was like, whoa, this is super cool. Yeah, please. I'd love to pray with you. And so we talked about a bunch of different things, and he said, I don't know why God told me to come here today, but he did. And so here I am. And we prayed together, and he prayed about my family, and he prayed for my husband and my marriage, and he prayed for my parents, and he prayed for my business. And in that moment when he was praying for my business, the words that he used to pray for my business told me directly that I am doing exactly what God wanted me to do. I'm doing my call. I'm growing a business that is pleasing to God because I'm helping other people. And the way that I want to grow my business is pleasing to God because my mission and my work is to help people become employed in a job where they will make lots of money, have a great career, and have their family be a part of it. Because I came from a place where my family wasn't welcome in the corporate world. My kids, I never saw my kids because I was traveling all the time. And so my mission with my business is to do the opposite of what I felt in corporate America, where I felt like I could never take a half a day off for a doctor's appointment, or could never bring my kids into the office, or, it was very, restricting, and I was always traveling. And so I want to create an environment where people can bring their kids to work, and they can take a half a day when they have doctor's appointments, and they can still have amazing careers, and their family can be a part of it. So anyway, and I digress because that's a separate thing here, but the fact that he came in here and said, God sent me in here to pray for you, and I don't know why. I don't know what it was, but I want to sit here and pray for you. And through his words, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, Sam, stop looking for the next step. Stop looking for the next big opportunity. Not that we shouldn't, always have our eyes open for God's direction, but it was just that like smack in the face, like you're already doing it right where you're at. What you are doing is part of God's plan for you because you've already said yes to him. You've already committed your life and your heart and your marriage and your family and your business to God, and he's going to bless you. He's going to do what he wants to use this for right where you're at. You just keep doing what you're doing and be ready because God's going to bless you in a big way. And I wanted to share that with you all because it was such a relief, and it was such a like smack in the face, like one of those V8 commercials whenever like they bonk the person in the head, because here I am searching, trying to figure out like, I want to work for God. And I know many of you feel that way. Like, what's the next thing? How can I be the best for my husband or my wife? How can I be the best parent for my kids? How can I be the best in my business? How can I serve my church and serve my community. And sometimes those desires get us like so overcommitted to other things. It makes us feel inadequate because we are trying to serve something that's not something. We're trying to serve God, but like we're trying to do something bigger than where we are. But the fact of the matter is, God put you where you are for a reason. He has you there for a purpose. And there are plenty of opportunities right where you're at to serve God in a big, giant way that you might not even see because you're too busy looking at what's the next big thing. How am I going to advance? How am I going to serve God in a bigger way and get in front of more people? And, whatever that is, like, I think there's a big part of being a faithful servant of Christ that is being content right where you are, knowing that God puts you there for a reason, and looking for those little opportunities every single day to serve Him right where you're at, and know that He's going to use what you're doing for a bigger and a better and a different cause than you might even realize. So I just wanted to encourage everybody today, if you're thinking like I was and you're thinking, I've always got to be doing something bigger and better and I want to serve God in a bigger way, but I don't know what that is. And God, here I am, are you listening? Am I not, is there something wrong with me that you're not telling me what the next step is? That no, there is nothing wrong with you. There's everything right with you. And if you're committing your days and your minutes and your seconds to God, and you're committing your business to Him, whatever that is, if your business is being a full-time parent, that is probably the hardest job in the world and the most important. And if you're committing that to God and you're teaching your kids to love God and you're teaching them wisdom and how to grow and all the skills that come along with being a homeschool parent or a stay-at-home parent, you're doing God's work right where you are. If you are in a corporate position and you are kind of stuck like I felt, where you're like, I can't really talk about God here because it's not PC, I might get sent to HR if I mention Jesus. That's okay, because you can still find ways to serve God through your work, through your actions, right? And God's going to give you opportunities if you pray for them every day. Like, God, just give me the opportunity today to touch somebody with your love. And He will do that. And if you've got your own business and you're growing it, there's a really good chance that if you're in your own business and you're doing the things that you need to do to grow, and that you're doing the things that you need to do for your clients and your employees and you're touching the community, that you're doing God's work already. God made us for right now. He made us for this moment. And if we are looking too far forward, we're going to miss this moment and we're going to miss this opportunity. If that friend of mine if he was looking for something else better to do or bigger to do or stronger than to walk into my office and touch me with his prayer, I would have missed out on this. And him touching my life has now touched, hopefully, whoever's listening to this podcast live and really helped you to see what he helped me to see, which was you are doing God's work already. If you've committed your business, your work, your family, your marriage, your life to God, you're already doing His work. So look around you today. Be happy and comfortable and confident knowing that you're exactly where God put you. And ask Him to press you for that. Who can I pray for today? Who can I be kind to today? Who can I buy a coffee for today? Who can I just impact with a smile? And you're going to start to see these little things come up that you're going to be able to do to touch other people. And hopefully that helps you feel confident that you're enough. You are enough. You don't have to be bigger and better. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to learn. But you are enough exactly the way that you are, because that's the way that God created you. And I'm learning that. It's a hard lesson sometimes to learn when you've always had to work hard for whatever you've gotten, that God's grace isn't something that you can earn, that He already created you and He loves you exactly the way that you are. So with that, I just wanted to I wanted to share this Richard Halverson benediction that my pastor shares at the end of every one of his sermons, and I love it, and I think it hits this point that I'm trying to make today. Richard Halverson was the former chaplain of the U.S. Senate, and he would close out his services by saying, you go nowhere by accident. Wherever you go, God is sending you. Wherever you are, God has put you there. God has a purpose in your being there. Christ lives in you and has something he wants to do through you where you are. Believe this and go in the grace and love and power of Jesus Christ. That is just, it's so beautiful and it's so real and it's so true. And so I think of everybody out there who's trying to do better, who's trying to do more, who's trying to advance and do the next best thing. Keep doing that. Don't stop trying to do better, but also rest in the comfort and the knowledge and the truth that you go nowhere by accident. Wherever you are, God put you there, right? There's no accidents. Nothing is coincidental. You're exactly where you need to be to serve God, exactly where you are today in this moment. So be happy, be comfortable, go do that, and, just be happy about that fact, I guess, is the thing. I know for me, like having that smack in the face yesterday, it just relieved all of this pressure off of me. Like, oh yeah, God, like I've been trying so hard to please you that I'm forgetting to please you in my everyday, and I'm forgetting that I'm already doing it. So I appreciate you all listening to my podcast and my story, and I know I am very raw and I'm very transparent, and sometimes I just put it all out there, and I don't know, I'm a little cheesy sometimes, but I appreciate you all listening to me, and I hope that today's message has touched you in some way, and given you the confidence just to remember that you're exactly where you need to be, and you're the exact person that God created you to be. So be confident in that. And with that, I'm going to end today with Joshua 1:9. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go.